afternoon, good evening, good morning, good hey, folks. Depending where you at, folks, it's your man always, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, can you believe it? It's the weekend again, baby. If I had a job, it wouldn't matter, but I don't have a job, so it don't matter. So, but for you out there, you look forward to this day. It's payday for some you don't get paid till another week. I know how it feels. I've been on both sides of the pay disbursements, bi-weekly, once a week, and now I do monthly. So, folks, I want to give a shout out to a lady who I've become acquainted with. She is my friend. She is my sister, the lovely Mrs. Eunice Martinez Kitchen, the head of Bad Rap. I've always got to shout them out. I got to do my Jay-Z, Bad Rap, as you know, the moniker is big and defined, ripped and pumped. And we guys like the rip part. So she got me contact with this lovely lady, and she's making her bodybuilding debut in about a month. Wow. So we got a fresh one, guys. Freshly went off the line. You feel like this character called the Booty Warrior says, "We like you and we want you. You did the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours." So, other than that, her name is the lovely Mrs. Rosanna George. And I like that last name. But she's better known as ROXY. So ROXY is making her debut in about a few weeks, and also she's possibly shooting for opportunity to turn pro. So folks, welcome ROXY, and let's wish her the best of luck in this upcoming season. Time is flying by, folks. We only have a few more shows yet, and also, it's not that we're at Olympia just around the corner. Can you think about it? So ROXY, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. So, what got you started in this sport I called muscle and masculinity? Please share.
Man, I've always been an athlete. I played volleyball throughout my entire young life, and I've always been in the gym. Somebody came up one day and asked, "Hey, do you bodybuild?" And I'm like, "No, what's that?" And ever since then, everyone always kept telling me that, "Hey, you need to be in wellness because you have big legs." And I'm like, "No, I like to train that upper body." So I dove into women's physique about 4 years ago. That was the last time I've been on stage. And so this time around, we're going to do both. We're going to do women's physique and women's bodybuilding. So
that's pretty good.
I love it. The training never ends for me.
Yeah. Well, women's bodybuilding is the architect for all the other women's divisions. It was for that, you wouldn't have physique or the others. A couple of the ones I'm not a big fan of. I don't think they really are bodybuilding, but they're considered it. But so as you know, you are an athlete, and what got you back into bodybuilding? What was such a long hiatus since your last time you competed?
Oh man, how long do you have? You have
I'm here. I got no place to go.
Oh man. So yeah, like I said, the last time I was on stage was in July, I believe, of 2021, women's physique. I had a great coach, still do. Loved it. Got into a poor relationship and gave up on it. That classic reason. A lot of different reasons were involved, but mainly financials. I would do a prep. I'd have to cancel the prep. I'd have to do a prep, and then I'd have to cancel the prep again. And it got to that point where I was like, all right, I'm done completely. So I gave up fully. I probably ate more than I've ever eaten in my life in 2023. And then 2024 was when I decided, all right, I didn't get my life back in line, because the one thing that remained consistent was the gym. Even when I quit bodybuilding, I was still in the gym every day. So, it's life happens, man. And it's all about who you surround yourself with in the sport. And now I'm surrounded by people that are nothing but supportive and here for me and pushing me. And that just, once I'm on. And that's where we are now. So 4 years later, that's a nutshell of why.
Well, everybody has their reasons. I've known some ladies who stepped away because of personal reasons, financial, family associated.
Yep.
One is one. In some cases, some women have gotten the family way, and the responsibilities of children and a family take precedent. Expense of competing is a lot compared to any other sport with which you get something back out of it. If you, like I said, you play volleyball, And if you became a professional volleyball player, hey, you can make a living off of it. Especially, there's a nipple level volleyball, there's a beach volleyball. It's very popular. But I think this sport is a passion sport, and
It
when
is.
you get back into it, you have to maintain that passion because it can be a lot physically, mentally, and again financially.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah, I know. When I talk to some ladies, they have to. For one thing, is for women, you have to have a presentation.
Yep.
You have to have a look to you. Your hair, your makeup, your tan, your jewelry. If you're in the teenage divisions like wellness or bikini, you need high heels. Big, you need high heels. The guys, all they gotta do is put on a pair of banana hammocks and boy shorts and slap on tan. But they
Yep.
do have their expenses too because they do eat more compared to the women. And dieting, that's a tough part about it. I will say some ladies say it's like 70 to 80% of what they do as a bodybuilder.
Oh, say that again. I'm sorry. I didn't get the question.
It's not a question. I'm talking.
Oh,
It's a back and forth.
I thought you asked a question. I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah. I do a back and forth. Sometimes I
Yeah.
ask questions now and then, but sometimes I like to get a back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels more natural. Like we're on a date. Like I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, who your coach mentioned? Who's your coach? How long y'all been together?
So my coach was in the past Scott Lightfoot. We still are he still helps us out a lot. Right now I'm self-coached along with my boyfriend, Gerald. We kind of are teaming it. So I'm in charge of my nutrition. He does the training and the protocols. Scott still helps us out. He's one of our best friends, but I am technically self-coached this time around.
Well, that's really, I think that's probably tough compared to being coached by somebody else. Plus, it's more cost efficient, you might want to say,
Yeah,
because you have to pay
that
for a
was the
coach.
main reason.
But one thing I think most competitors says you need a coach because sometimes there's some things that you won't see or miss that you need that other eye for. And if Scott's still there, he helps you out, maybe get a little critique here and there, that helps you out.
Yeah, it's definitely a team effort. I mean, I know bodybuilding is a super solo sport, but I would not be able to do it without the team. We call ourselves Team Texas Muscle. Everybody's got eyes on everybody over here. We'll send the check-ins, get help, solicit help. Hey, what do you think I should do? And everybody's just so helpful in it, and I love it. It's such a good atmosphere.
Yeah, I think Texas is starting to become a growing mecca in bodybuilding. I mean,
For real.
yeah, I know back in the day it was California. Florida has a bodybuilding community, and the last few years Texas has been growing. Like people like
Yeah.
Cheryl Vilgas, she promotes the Texas Pro.
Yeah.
There's Mila Ash, she lives in Texas. Ashley Jones, who I had the pleasure of meeting when I was in Tampa. She's a cute little thing.
She is my favorite, especially when she switched to women's bodybuilding. I always loved her in women's physique, but man, women's bodybuilding, I'm like, you are coming, girl. She is absolutely a unit.
I remember it was that last year she competed in physique.
Yeah.
That was back in 2022. And she posted a picture. This is one picture. This is my favorite here. I love this one here. It's just wow, just like that smile and
unit
and that body. Oh, I mean, I can't help myself. I have a crime to admit. Roxy, I'm a muscle person. I just find y'all muscle ladies very enticing and exciting. But I remember she posted a picture on IG. And her back was turned. At first, I thought it was Margie Martin. At first, when I saw it, but then when she turned around, I said, "Wait, that's Ashley Jones." I said, "Wow!" And I remember I did this one time. I did this thing where I took made a comparison between the two.
Yeah.
Now actually, that's her in Taekwondo. That was the last time. But then I took this one and put it between her and Margie.
Yeah.
And this was 2022. That's Margie's last year competing in women's bodybuilding. This was, Ashley's last year competing in women's physique. And truthfully, other than that, I think Margie's quads a little bigger. I think she's a little small in the waist.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell the difference. You would think they're both female women's bodybuilders.
Yeah. I was so amped when she made the jump. I thought it was freaking awesome. I'm like, oh, here we go. She couldn't get top 3. Sure enough.
Yeah, she did it. She did both in the Rising Phoenix. It's coming up next weekend. It's no longer the women's World Bodybuilding Championships. Now it's up opportunity. Plus, the top 3 competitors can get the pro card this year. And also, she was number 3 behind Andrea and also Angela. That's my girlfriend, Andrea Shaw. I just
Yeah.
love her. I think she's so beautiful, so amazing. This is a true story. That's why I love Eunice. A while back, I always want to bring this out in my interviews because you know what? As my other half says, if you get us something, never do it for free. And this is why I call my payment. It was like back in 2023 was my, I think I was about to turn, I think 49. And Eunice was there that year, and she was hanging out, and she got this issue of Muscle Development. It's the last issue in print. I still got some in a closet storage room with my comic books and stuff.
Yeah.
And what makes it so special is not just that it's the last issue with Andrea on the cover. Eunice had asked her if she would sign it for me,
Oh, that's awesome.
and she told me she loves me and she
That's
appreciates me, and I love her. I'm going to marry Andrea.
marry her.
Yeah,
Get her on the show. Let's go. Get
yeah. I
on
would
one
love.
knee.
I would love to have her on here one day, but I know she's a busy lady, so you know. But is there anybody in the sport that you are admire, respect as a competitor?
Women or men?
Either one.
So for the women, Angie O is probably my all-time. Just her general attitude. God, I've always been a fan of her. And then, like we just spoke on, Ashley Jones. I loved her in women's physique. She was always just my favorite. And now that she, like we spoke about, now that she's gone women's bodybuilding, I'm like, okay, now we're coming for it all. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Then for men, I've always been diehard Nick Walker fan. So I'm happy to see him coming back to the O this year and hopefully hurt some feelings.
Yeah. I know him and Bob Ciccarello, who I got to also meet
Oh,
when I was
yeah.
in Tampa, not very fond of each other. I call him Bobby Chick. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But, I think that's about the sport. That it's amazing people there. I mean, I grew up in the tail end of the Arnold Schwarzenegger era. I grew up with guys like Arnold and Lou Ferrigno and Lee Haney. And then I said again, when I get to my teenage years, those ladies about them just piqued my interest. People like Corey Everson and Linda Murray and
Oh,
Laura
yeah.
Val and Bev Francis, one of my favorites. Iris Kyle, I like the Iris Kyle. I mean, so many ladies. One lady I also got to meet was Alita Popa,
Oh,
and just amazing lady. She was coaching a friend of mine back in 2022. When we went, my first bodybuilding show was the Savannah Pro, and she was there. And I said, I want to say hello to her and tell her my friend Tina wanted to say hello because she knew Tina was a client. But yeah, there's amazing people in the sport. The sport has evolved over the years.
oh my
And
gosh.
if the changes have, you look at it now, how the evolution of the athletes. You compare it to the Ronnie Colemans to the Samson Duas. It's
Yeah.
just changed.
I love that's one of my favorite parts is the camaraderie. Who you meet, who you get to connect with. Instagram is so good for that. I mean, there's people I've never met before who I mean, we're close because we talk all the time on Instagram. Just other competitors. That is one of my favorite things about bodybuilding for sure. Because it's a tight knit family. It's getting bigger, but we're still a small group, especially with the women's bodybuilders and women's physique girls. I mean, there's not that many of us. So
Yeah,
it's good to
yeah.
get
Because
together.
this just posted this out just about a few days ago that they're changing they're bringing back the point system, but it's going to be a little different next
Yeah,
year
I saw
because
that.
of so many competitors. And I think it's overflooded with bikini and men's
Yeah.
classic, aka I call it men's figure, and men's physique, aka I call it men's bikini.
We
You
call it
know,
men's bikini. I was gonna say that.
yeah,
No hate, but we call it men's bikini.
well, I'm like I said, I just I'm just on the. There's one division coming out. It's the new one. I just the taste of my mouth.
Oh yeah.
I gotta say it. Fit model. Excuse me.
Ugh.
I gave you some nice couple nice ladies that fit model. They're nice ladies. No offense to them. Just
Yeah.
this sound like this. The problem is that the criteria of the division is changing and the athletes are evolving. Instead of sticking to that criteria, you create another division that's going to end up being like the last division you're supposed to replace. Like women's physique was supposed to replace women's bodybuilding. But
Yeah.
look at it now. Like I showed you that picture of Natalia and Ashley. There's some ladies who I've seen. There's one lady I seen I sent it to Eunice yesterday, where it's this lady she's talking to right now, and she's supposed to be competing at the San Antonio in I think about a month. I think no, San Antonio's next week. I think next week. I think it's the I think it's next. It's the week after next, I believe. And she's a figure competitor, but she looks like she could do women's physique. And I don't know. It's just I understand that it's up to the competitors what they want to do. But as yourself as an athlete, when you see your body grow in development and grow in developing, do you feel like you're a better fit in one division than the other?
For me, this year, especially with my legs, that's why I'm entertaining the thought of women's bodybuilding, because there's no limit. That's the top tier, in my opinion. That's the, you can't get too big for women's bodybuilding. So yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I've always been a women's physique, just avid lover, but I know that with my growth is like, okay, a lot of these women might weigh in the 130, 140 range in women's physique on stage, and I'm going to be sitting in the 150s, maybe even close to 160 on stage. So it's like, even at this level, if I continue to grow, I'm going to have to grow into the division that's next, and that's women's bodybuilding. So, which I love. I mean, they're both, as long as we're not downsizing. We're moving forward in the path.
Yeah, I think it's about how each athlete grows and how you process. Something like you excuses. I don't want to go to that division. I'm just so big, and it's not as pretty. I think, don't give me that excuse. I mean,
I'll get on a soapbox on that, because it's not supposed to be pretty. Right? We're here. We have muscle. We can be pretty and have muscle, but it's not a, what do they say? It's not a modeling agency. We're bodybuilders. So let's do what we're supposed to do. I'll get on a soapbox on that one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, no offense to as I call them, the TNA divisions. To me, you're in the sport, but it's about how you grow, how you process, how you develop, you work consistency. That's one thing about bodybuilding. When people think about bodybuilding, the everyday person, it's like, I just pop some steroids. I could be like, I don't know, I just like this start the tumor. No, I've conversations where I have you ladies and also some guys out here on my channel that it's more than just that. You have to be consistent. You have to be persistent. You have to be regimental. You have to be disciplined, because the thing is that you can take whatever shit you think you can take to get you that level. It's not going to work unless you don't follow all what your coach plans out for you, or your diet and your training. Like you say, talk about your legs. So that means that your favorite workout is leg day?
It's not. Honestly, I hate legs. I just due to playing volleyball since, like I said, since I was 8 years old, my legs are just genetically gifted and they're big. So it's like, yeah, I'll train legs. I hate leg day, though. I could train upper body every day of the week and be content if that was a thing. But, they have to be done. It's muscle like everything else. But no. That's why wellness would never work for me, because I couldn't do 5 or 6 leg days a week.
It's tough. I think it takes a lot of it takes a lot to do that much. I know quite often bodybuilders tell me they don't like leg day, but I had quite a few that said they love it, and I call them, "You're a sycophant. You're a mutant. You're a masochist. You just love that."
Yeah, you love the pain.
Yeah, if they live for the pain, they die for the pain. We have here a shout out to my man DJ coming through. Appreciate this from your brother. He says, bro, how you got all these athlete guests, you forgot the T instead of the S on your channel. Well, brother, it's called, you know what? You gotta learn on your own. This is my secret. I don't share my how I do things. You gotta do, if you want to do this, you gotta do this on your own. So, folks, while we have Roxy here, we're gonna do this. We're gonna jump into social media for a bit. You want to follow her. Her link is in the description of this slide. You want to check her out, support her. She's also, again, she is a Bad Rap sponsored athlete. Shout out to Bad Rap. As I said again, the acronym, big and defined, ripped and pumped. And if you want to follow also Bad Rap, I will leave a link here. Check out their product and also their mission. The Bad Rap missions out there. But guys, and it's no fish you, Roxy. I do this as a disclaimer to you guys out there. I know you guys. I'm one of you. I've some things I have not, I will not, I have not done, but I know some guys would do it because you're sick freaks. No D pics. No weird shit. Stop it. Get some help. She has a man. We don't want Gerald to be like, who says to my girl? You know, I gotta bust somebody's head. And you know, he's a cowboy too, so you be throwing that rope on you like, yeehaw! Just
Oh, that's good.
put one of those like the little S mark.
Yep.
Yeah,
Random.
yeah. So guys, please be respectful of these ladies. Come on, don't do that shit. So we're gonna jump into her IG for a little bit. And there is a man right there, Gerald. You look like, how long y'all two been together?
Right at a year and a month.
Yeah. And he's also thinking about being a bodybuilder himself?
Yeah, he's done. So the Muscle Beach Classic that I'm doing here in 4 weeks now, as of tomorrow, he won the overall on that. I want to say 3 years ago, I believe. He was going to compete this year, 2025, but he is fully supporting me, and we're going to get him back on stage at the beginning, tentatively, don't quote me, beginning 2026, and he does open bodybuilding.
Oh, great. I mean, it's good. There's quite a few couples that, like tomorrow, I have an interview with a couple. They're both Ivy pros, and recently, the wife just got a pro card last weekend at the North Americans. Husband, he competes in men's figure. But I met him when I was in Tampa. They're both nice people, and it's the process. Like here she is. She got wow, you get some great shoulders. Your legs are pretty.
That's my joke on wellness. I said wellness debut. # hell to the nah.
Like I said, I think we see a lot of ladies jumping from divisions like physique and figure getting to wellness.
Yeah. That's the truth. A lot of pros are doing that. I feel like a lot of the pros that I know that are turned pro in like the 2019 time frame, there's a lot of them that have gone to wellness recently.
A friend of mine, her name is Jada. She earned her pro card as a physique competitor, and she competed in physique for a good minute. Then she went to women's bodybuilding, and right now she just made her debut in wellness last year.
Yeah,
and I think it's the same thing would happen with women's physique when it came into the game. A lot of female bodybuilders had to either move out or drop down.
Yeah,
and I think when a lot of those ladies come from bodybuilding, got into physique, it changed the look. Change the aesthetic of the division. And I think it's kind of happened the same way with wellness.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
And I can feel that.
Yeah. And also, as you know, as you said again, you're a Bad Rap sponsor. When did you meet Eunice, and how long y'all know each other?
I have not met her in person, to be honest with you. I'm wanting to soon. She doesn't even live that far away. I want to say she said about an hour and a half from me. So we're going to try to make that happen soon. We connected on Instagram maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, and then that's all she wrote. I'm like, I want to be a part of this. Let's go.
Yeah, I finally got to meet her because we did an interview about, I would say about 3 years ago, and she was that was the year when she was just about to make her a pro debut. Now she's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah,
practically, started out in women's bodybuilding. Now she did women's bodybuilding when she did Tampa. But now she did physique. She won in her class 55 plus. Kimberly is coming up. She's gonna be 60 this weekend, I believe.
Incredible.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, and I got to meet her and her husband Willie. He's a good guy. I was at Tampa. I came and I wanted to see her. She was competing at the Masters show that Thursday night. That Thursday afternoon it started, but it was late in the evening when it ended the finals, and we were looking for someplace to eat.
Yep.
So we drive all the way around Tampa. We were looking to find this nice little place, a little hole in the wall. We had a nice little late night supper together, pretty good time. One part, there was only problem was we saw this couple who were drunk and arguing. So. But it's good that like I said again, your body's really got some great definition lines. Your quads, your shoulders. I mean, you said you feel like your legs is your best feature, or you feel like something else is your better feature?
So it used to be my worst feature. I could never, oh my God, I could never get them lean. This time they're turning. I still have, like I said, 5 weeks, but my glutes have never looked the way that they look right here ever at 5 weeks out. I don't even think my glutes looked that good and squared on stage my first time. I've always had a problem getting the lower body lean enough. I feel like my strong suit is my back. But everything has changed. This prep is so different than any prep I've ever done. Everything. The weak points are becoming strong. The strong points are like, oh my God, do I need to work on that a little bit more now? Because I feel like they're not as strong. My shoulders have never been where they are now. So it's crazy to see the changes coming out of fully giving up, because I did. And I'm happy that I didn't. I brought it back, I guess. The body snapped back in.
Well, like anything, this sport can be a process.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when I talk to ladies, it's not so much about trusting the process. It's understanding how far you want to go,
Yeah.
understanding how your body responds. Again, you talk about your strengths are getting stronger. You're working on your strengths and your weaknesses. That's the factors. You want to bring in everything together. You want that to be that complete athlete.
Yeah. Everything's strong, not just one or two things. Like I want to walk out there and be like, holy crap. All right. She came to play. Let's go.
Yeah. So before bodybuilding, what did you do? What was your living, or what you do now?
So before bodybuilding, I for a living, I worked in oil and gas for 10 years as a purchasing manager. I don't do that now. I work for a company that I am a purchasing manager still, but we purchase things for Walmart. Anything you see inside any Walmart in the world that you cannot buy, that's what we purchase for. So very, very nutshell, basic. But outside of that, I was always in the gym, but I was in that party atmosphere, that party life, that college, post-college lifestyle from like the age of probably 21 to 28 or so, where it was just all about drinking, and I'd go to the gym and then we'd turn around and drink, or I'd go to the gym and then we'd turn around and have 15 pizzas, or whatever. There was never like I could eat. I mean, if we could do an eating contest, let's do that. Not right now. I'm in prep.
Well, at my point in my life, my eating contests are done. I mean, when I was a much younger, healthier man, probably, but now I'm a little bit worn down. I got 2 bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got a pacemaker. I mean, I was at one point, because this is a story about me. It's going to be at least 11 years ago, where I had my first heart attack. I was 39. I was working in this meat processing factory, and I thought I was just coming down with the cold because I was working in the cold area. So what I did was it was too far for me to go all the way home. So my sisters lived the next town over. So one of my sisters told me, go to the hospital. Nah, it's urgent care around the corner. So when I was there, they told me, Miss McCarthy, there's something in your blood we've seen, and we have to send you to the hospital. That was Cape Fear Valley, one of the biggest hospitals in North Carolina, in Fayetteville. I was there in the cardiac unit for about a week because they told me, Miss McCarthy, you had a heart attack. I said, what? I thought with a heart attack, you'd be like, I'm coming to see you, Elizabeth.
Yeah, yeah.
But then after that, I took some time off. Then I went back to work for a bit. Then I saw a specialist at one of the biggest hospitals in North Carolina, as you would see. Specialist told me, hey, we're going to have to get you a pacemaker. And then I got a pacemaker. Went back to work for a good while. Then they had me doing some stuff that I've been working since I was 10 years old. My family sharecroppers. I am a son of sharecroppers. We used to do that work. And I said, you know what? I'm 40 years old. It was my 40th birthday that day. I've been doing this work. I'm done. I'm walking out. I was going to think about maybe come back the next day. But then my mom got sick. And, she took care of about me, my brothers, my sisters. Her and my father would get up 55 years, even though he was in New Jersey. And we still down here in North Carolina. He was doing his thing. She was doing her thing down here.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I decided I wasn't doing anything. So I started taking care of her. Because there was so much stress with that, I was at 500 pounds before I knew it.
Wow.
because food was seen as a comfort. It
Yeah.
helps you go through the. I still have my habits, but I try to be smarter. But when she passed, I said, you know what? I got nobody else to take care of but me. And while I was taking care of her, I was doing this stuff here, making content, talk about you ladies, because
Yeah.
a friend of mine told me, said, shout out to my man, Coach Sherry Harrison. I was always shout him out. Said, George, do something you like to do. Maybe something to keep your mind busy. And I started doing this. And
Yep.
then when she passed, I really got more involved into it because this gives me a purpose. Like I said, I don't have no kids. The one woman I had, she's gone. And this is something I like doing. I love talking to you ladies like yourself who have a passion for a sport, because this is a sport about a passion.
Yeah, that's what makes it. I mean, that it's crazy to, I don't know, just hear everybody's stories and why they're here and what they've been through to get here and all the different things. Like, it blows my mind for sure.
Mm-hmm, yeah, there's so many different stories, from ladies who were like yourself, very athletic. Like I said, also ladies took a step back because of either medical, physical, sometimes the family reasons, or just some ladies have. I've talked to ladies that dealt with abuse of drugs or being in domestic violence. They found that bodybuilding was a sport that kind of helped them but even though it's not a very popular sport compared to others, I remember when I went to Tampa. And I finally got to my room. I was tired. I took a long train ride. I got a train in South Carolina. Next time over, it took me 6 hours. I had to 6 hours to get to. I had to wait in Savannah, where I went to my first Bible show. Had to wait 6 hours at the depot before the next train comes to go down to Florida. And that's a good trip. And then another 6 hours back when I was going back to back home. And everybody who finds this sport find something about that really excites them about it, that really gives them that not motivation, that discipline, that drive. Who you have here? Shout out to my man Ryan. Lakey says hello, Rosanna. Well, you can call her ROXY.
Hello.
Also, he says this. He says, "Are you competing this year again?" So, do you know
again?
Her?
I haven't competed in 4 years, but yes, I am 3 times. I have Muscle Beach Classic October 4th. That's in 4 weeks as of tomorrow. Storm Classic, which is not a sanctioned, that's just one that's open to everybody. You can go and try to win money, October 11th. And then I got NPC Nationals, the big show at the end of the year, to try to turn pro in women's physique or women's bodybuilding, one of the two.
A Storm class sounds interesting. Making money, what's it?
Yeah, it's a non-sanctioned. So we had some people on our team compete last year, and I had no idea. You don't have to, doesn't have any fees associated with it. You just show up. You have to pay a registration fee, but you don't have to pay like an NPC or there's no federation involved. And then they give away, I don't want to be quoted on this, but I believe it's $1,200 for first place in the open, $800 for second, and $400 for third. And that's for all of the open divisions. And then they also have some really cool other stuff. Like they have a kids division. They have like a transformation summer shredding type division that you can enter and win money. And just different ones. They have like an angel wings or something. Not my cup of tea, but they have that.
It sounds like another organization, because a while back I interviewed a lady. She competes in another organization I think it's called NGA, where they do some like transformation stuff.
Yeah.
Ball ground stuff. I know nothing about the kids. That's pretty interesting.
And I thought it was cool last year because we had a couple of people that did the transformation, and they actually like put their picture up there. They talked about what they've been through, how much weight they've lost, their story for the transformation division. So it's just kind of cool to see, because not all the time are you going to see someone who's lost 350 pounds. They're not ready to get on an NPC stage, but they look phenomenal. So like, it's just cool to see their story, like on a different front. And then they also have just the regular open division. So we have, I want to say, in between 12 to 15 athletes going from Team Texas Muscle here in Cypress, Iron City Gym for that show, just to go hang out, have fun. It's not very much pressure. And it was 1 week after the Muscle Beach. So I was like, all right, let's just go try to win some money. Why not? We don't get to do that very often in bodybuilding. So
especially in the amateur levels. And
exactly.
sometimes you might be the lucky few in the pro level. You gotta think like there's a show coming up. It's coming up in one show coming up in Mexico where it's just it's women's physique. I interviewed Brianna Terry. She's an IFB pro. She's gonna make her pro debut there.
Yeah.
And there's also you have the Rising Phoenix, which is at the end of which was actually the week after this week.
Yeah.
Because it used to be one point the prize money was $50,000 for first place, and my girl she always won it dominantly. I know she lost last year. Yeah, I like Angel Yo too, but kind of,
I know. I was shocked, to be honest with you. I was like, wow.
But I remember the first time I saw her on stage was when Andrea was at Savannah guest posing. That was a friend of mine told me, said, George, when Andrea's on, she's on, but she was kind of off that year because I think she maybe might have just went in thinking, maybe she was a little bit better prepared. But, that thing is that, again, there is so much expense to be a bodybuilder. I remember saying it's a lot of sacrifice, but so much of it, well, it's not so much sacrifice, it's an investment. But again, it is expensive.
Oh, yeah.
You counting as an amateur, you have to pay your entrance fees, the shows, your tanning, your hair, your makeup, and everything else that comes with it. There's so much. And I wish there was especially in NPC and IVB, I wish there was more of an assistance.
Yeah.
When it comes to financial thing, like I know you have Eunice, she's helping you out with the sponsorship and being an ambassador. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was blown away when she reached out. I was like, "Oh, what? I'm just a little amateur over here, but okay, let's go." Like I thought it was awesome. It really lit my fire. Or just made me happy to have somebody wanting to represent. So it's cool.
Yeah. Well, something Eunice told me, like what they're doing right now, they're interested in requiring more ambassadors to be part of the Bad Rap brand.
Yeah.
So anybody who's out there interested, like I said, I'm gonna leave the Bad Rap link in the description. If you are genuinely interested, because they really want to help advance women in bodybuilding. You could be, female physique competitor. You could be figure. I know we're talking about maybe trying to get some of the wellness girls in bikini, and fit model. But like I said again, that's just my prejudice. Whatever you is going to do. So you want to check it out? I will leave the Bad Rap link. And you can reach out to Eunice, and you have to be genuinely interested. You have to be active on social media. I know some competitors say they're not very comfortable about being on social media, but the thing is that it's a way to get attention for yourself. You have to be your advocate when it comes to sport.
Exactly. Put your name out there.
Yeah.
And I'm starting over. Like my Instagram was big a couple years ago, and I had to get rid of it and started a new one. So it makes it more fun to get out there and try again.
Yeah, I remember I have 3 accounts. My first account, I don't use that much, but now I'm starting to use it a little more because I had an incident like a few years ago. My second account got hacked, and that was I worked on an account for like 2 years, put myself into it, and it's just you feel like somebody like you got robbed.
Yeah.
But now I got this new account and been having this one. It's not too new. The one I have, my other account, had for a good while. I've grown. I made connections with people. Reach out to you, ladies like yourself. I'm like I said, I'm speaking from a standpoint as a fan, but also I respect and admire what y'all ladies do because, like I said again, society is going to look like this. Women like yourself, and like I said, Roxy's an attractive lady, and as the other guy says, and she is beautiful. But here's about the view of society, women who you don't have to be like the big mass muscle bodybuilders. If you're just a bikini girl, a wellness girl, a figure girl who just has a little bit of muscle, this is how some say, well, why are you getting so big muscular? You trying to be like me? You trying to be a man? And funny is the guys with boobs like me who's saying that, who haven't probably busted weight or even lifted weight.
I always think that's funny. I just laugh. I'm like, I'm not doing it for anybody else but myself. And I love to look like I have muscle. My favorite thing is when you're walking through the grocery store and someone's like, holy crap. Look at that. I'm like, yep, hello. Don't worry, I won't eat you. Moving along.
I think it's a bit of intimidation because they understand the discipline you have to make. Like, when I talk to ladies, when they get to bodybuilding, they have to really change their life, like one I would say 180, because like used to when you were like younger, you used to hang out and drink and do all this and run with the girls at the club. But
Yeah.
then you have to get into bed, because you need rest. You want to get up early so you can go ahead and go work out, do
Yep.
fast cardio, get your meal prep done. Stories where ladies tell me that sometimes they go to family events and summer's just passed. We just had Labor Day early this week and barbecue and stuff going on and you think about you being a bodybuilder, and you're in Texas too, y'all.
Yeah.
I was having a debate with a lady. She's an IFB pro. We started debating about the difference between Texas barbecue to Carolina barbecue, even though we started here and y'all just copy.
Touche. Touche.
Yeah, touche. But I think some people say like, is it worth it? Because you can't do this, you can't do that. Like a lady told me one time she went to a wedding. It was a friend of hers' daughter was getting married. Went to the wedding, and because the average wedding, what's the average meal on the wedding? It's chicken, fish, or steak, and she
Right.
couldn't eat that because she was getting ready. I think she was a few weeks out from
Yeah.
doing a competition. You feel like as a competitor, is it worth just missing out those things that most people consider one of those little enjoyments of life?
What I found recently, which I did not do in the past, so I used to super recluse myself from everything like that. If there were events going on, nope, sorry, I'm in prep. Like, I ain't going, whatever. What I've learned this time is you can still do things. We choose to bodybuild. We choose, bring your meals. It's not that hard. If people get upset or if they look at you funny, like, okay, like I'm just going to sit here and eat my meals. Like we go to concerts, I'll bring a Ziploc bag of chicken and rice with me. We go to the pool, I'll bring my insert meal here and eat it. Like it's just something I've been trying to do this prep is enjoy things in life, enjoy the extra stuff, but still stay on track. And I've finally nailed it. Took me a while, but just you gotta enjoy everything involved and still check the boxes.
I think the things you have to live for your passion, and you have to live for what you want the most out of
Yeah.
this, especially the sport of bodybuilding. Like I said, it's a stream sport, and always society's always going to have a different view of what is considered the norm.
Oh yeah.
So
like it's normal to go get blackout drunk on the weekends, but it's not normal to eat healthy. Like, whatever. Whatever floats your boat. I mean, but that stuff used to bother me. It doesn't anymore. Like this is what I choose to do. You can like it, you cannot, and I'm just gonna keep going ahead and doing my thing.
Well, the thing is, you get to live for yourself. You can't live for nobody else. You spend your time trying to make everybody else happy, then you're gonna be miserable. Life is precious.
And I live that life.
Yeah, as humans, we only have one, and we want to live it the best way we can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we have just some comments here. Shout out to my guest. Shout out to my man Ryan Lake. He's been sticking in here. Appreciate you, brother. Coming. He says this. He says, ROXY. So sorry, Rosanna. I'm your biggest fan.
Thank you.
Also, he says this. He says, how did you get into fitness? Well, brother, you should have came in earlier. We're not going to repeat ourselves.
Rewind it.
You want to? Well, you can explain from a little bit. We're not going to go into too much detail, but you can watch it later if you want. Also, that's the thing about this, that there's a flip side to it. Because as I said again, there are the other side. There's the other guys who are like, you see women like you, ROXY, and you're pumped up, and and there's a I remember when I first got online, there used to be this message board where it was dedicated. It was a site where we had a message board dedicated to fans of women's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And I heard the terminology schmo. I said, "What's that?" Well, and this guy was on there. I think he was the head of the what's the face? I think he's the message board designer, whatever he was. And he said, "Hey kid, you on here? So you're a fan of you about this?" Yes. Well, the terminology called schmo. I say, "Oh, why do you call it schmo?" Well, it's those guys who are fans because they look at us weird because we like women with muscle. But you're just a woman, But then there's a saying they say like this. Say, you want to hear the saying?
Yes.
Yeah, he said like, when your ladies rock hard, we're rock hard. But because it's a different aspect of seeing a woman. Like you're from Texas, we're pretty much in the South. Women are built different looks, different styles. But I think it's again, people are comfortable with the norm,
Yeah.
what is feminine, soft, a
Yeah.
little bit more this or that. Some guys be into women who are built like teenage boys. That's not me. But some men like women a little more rounded, more voluptuous. But I think everybody has their taste.
Yeah. That's true. And I mean, at the end of the day, it don't matter. Like you just do you. You do what you want to do. Like that's how I always. I've not always thought that way, but that's how I feel now.
Well, with bodybuilding, I think it really changes the mindset of the everyday person.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, and to understand the work, the criteria, the sacrifice. So much as to say against investment you're making to yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, and I'll stand on this soapbox too. If it wasn't hard, everybody would be doing it. There's supposed to be some type of level of hard here, and just kind of choose your hard.
She says the word hard. Yes, I
And
know.
it's been real, everybody. No. And with that, I'm out.
But like I said,
Close the curtain.
yeah, it's anything difficult. If you want it, if you want it bad enough, it's going to be difficult. Nothing's
Oh
ever
yeah.
going. You don't want anything too easy because if it's too easy, you're just not going to appreciate it as much. I
Yeah.
mean, ladies I talked to and met doing this, working on this content, they tell me it's so much to it. It's like it was like the old commercial Peace Corps, the toughest job you ever love.
Yeah. That's the truth.
Yeah, and I think some people see it as a job. I know some they live for the season. Often hear stories of how, like we talk about this also on my channel. Every Monday we do a live podcast. It's called Muscle Talk Monday. We have a panel. We talk about stuff and talk about the effects, the mental effects of bodybuilding. Like
Okay.
not just the physical stuff. Like I just interviewed a young lady. She just went through some shoulder surgery, and then some bodybuilders, especially after the season, because they love their games. They love when you're on the stage. Like we out there out there in the stands, sitting and watching y'all ladies and men. We see these whipped muscles,
Yep.
these shape, these bodies just glistening oil and tan, and just on stage. But then after that, what is there for you? I mean, I know we talked about before what is called post-show blues, where
Yep.
you're dealing with your gains, you're getting more softer, you're not
Yep.
as veiny and vascular like you were before, but you still got a good amount of muscle, but it's just a
Yep.
different look, compared to being stage ready.
Yeah, that's where it becomes a mental struggle for sure. I know a lot of people have fallen off completely just due to that. Like, it's sad, but I am one of those people. My first show, I was like, eat, 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 eat. Did not do it correctly, but hey, we live, we learn.
That thing is, it's about learning and adapting and changing and be willing
Yeah.
to be open-minded to something different. I
Yeah.
think some have their, like, even though, like I said, I do think about fit model. I'm like I say, I'm not a big fan of it, but I understand the reason for it, because in order to get attention for bodybuilding, to bring in people who might be interested in it. Back, like I said earlier again, when I was talking about when I got to my motel room in Tampa, I was like tired of flipping the television, and I stopped on, was the ESPN Ocho, and it's showing pillow fighting. We talked about before on my channel where there's actual competitive pillow fighting, but I've done content on women in MMA, mixed martial arts. That's been around for a long time, combat
Yeah.
sports, but those sports will always get that. They don't get the stink eye compared to bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Because always going to because the issue of performance enhancing steroids. But there's natural bodybuilding. It's a lot tougher to do naturally than compared to being enhanced. But here's the thing again, and we say it like this: steroids and PEDs are not the be all part of bodybuilding. It's only there to help you recover. After you do a long leg day, you want to go back to the gym the next day. You don't want to spend shit out the next 2 or 3 days too long. Because I know with a lot of bodybuilders, the gym is their church, it's their therapy, it's the place they go. I mean, they live for the gym. Sometimes if they say, well, it's a holiday, the gym's closed. They try to find something to keep themselves busy, something to do.
Yep. Or find a gym that's open. One of the two.
Yeah, I used to go work out at Planet Fitness. I know it's not everybody's favorite gym for bodybuilders. It's, it's anti-bodybuilding, but I used to go there for a good bit. It was nice. It was all right. I would love to go back, but a while back, my car. I mean, it was actually my sister. She gave it to me because she got herself a new truck. It was a pretty good car for a good while, but then she had it used, and I got it from her secondhand, and I could have, I took it to this one guy, he worked out and he made a mess, and the other guy had it. And I said, you know what? Fuck that cloud hopper. I'm not gonna, money I put into it, I better just put it in my pocket.
Right.
Yeah. But you got to love what you do and do what you love.
For sure. You have to, and that's in anything, not just bodybuilding, but that's the truth. Because if not, you're gonna be miserable. Period. Or you're not gonna succeed in any way, shape, or form unless you love it.
Yeah. So now the plans is doing these couple of shows, then do the nationals. When do you feel like would be the best time for you to make if you do get your pro card at nationals, you think you want to jump in the fire 2026?
So that is why I'm doing both women's bodybuilding and women's physique at nationals, because I want to get the judges' feedback, because I feel like in women's physique, I would be ready to do a shorter off season and compete in 2026. I know that if I choose the women's physique route, I would 100% pro debut at the Texas Pro, whether that be 2026 or 2027. That's always been the goal show for me. It's very hard, but it's very pushed in Texas by Sarah, and I love it, and it's right in my backyard. If I go women's bodybuilding, I would definitely have to at least take a good solid year and a half off season to compete women's bodybuilding pro.
Yeah, well, that's acceptable because Sarah, she's really not a big fan of Sarah, but I respect what she's doing.
Yeah,
especially for her division. She put the money.
She represents women's physique. She really pushes for the girls in that aspect.
Because I remember it was about a few years ago when Arnold decided to kick out women's physique from the Arnold Classic.
Oh God,
he kicked out women's bodybuilding first.
Yep.
Then women's physique and figure, and I don't care about 212. Because
that,
many guys in open, but then she said, you know what? If it's a money issue, let me put the money for it. Let me put the prize money. But it's not so much for Arnold. It's not so much about a money issue. It's like ticket sales. But this is like this. I'm like, okay, when I bought a ticket for a show, I'm buying it not for the division. I'm buying it for prejudging and finals.
Yeah.
Even if I buy a ticket, I watch men's classic and I walk out, you already got my money.
Exactly.
So, and why are you, like I said again, and I think one thing my concern is also fitness has to talk on his back, because with new fit model division coming in, he either is going to keep fitness or put it in because they have a place for that division. But Sarah, she did two things that was in 2022 when she stepped up and put up the prize money for the Pittsburgh Pro and the prize money for Texas Pro. And that was the year Natalia won it and then took a title that same year.
Yeah, same year.
Yeah. And the tag queen, I understand she's competitive, but here you go. You were Miss Physique Olympia. And you just did two shows. Sit your butt down. Personally, with the numbers getting cut for women's physique this year, I think you lost at least 3 shows. I know that interview a while back, Marika Jones. She was the last one to hold the physique title at the St. Louis Pro.
Yeah.
A lady who competed this weekend, her name is Crystal Garcia. She told me that women's physique and women's and figure got kicked out of the Allegiant show, and show that's the Daytona that kicked out also women's physique. And then women's bodybuilding, they were going to have the Texas Pro this year, but then the sponsors, whatever happened.
Yeah, they backed out.
Yeah, I mean, this is something which I could do. If I had the money and the means, I would love to reach out and say, hey, talk to Freddie and Sheila. Hey, I would like to sponsor women's bodybuilding at this show, because Texas is a mecca. Like people like Mayla's there, Ashley's there. Quite a few other ladies who do women's bodybuilding in Texas. I know a lady who I interviewed a while back, Brittany Parrish. She's going to make her plan was because She did a live with my man David from Female Body Forum with the guy Austin Carr. She's going to be making her debut at the Steve Carr show in Vegas. Now she was going to do Texas, but then they dropped it, and then she was going to do the Amina Popa show in Romania. But she did an interview with another guy who I'm a friend of. His name is Jeremy. He runs his own podcast from Women Bodybuilding, where she's going to do the show in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I just wish there was more promoters that have the courage to say, you know what, this division is the architect division. It's the one that started it all. If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have fitness. You wouldn't have figure. You wouldn't have physique. Bikini was brought in. This is how I feel like this. Bikini is like an invasive species. It didn't, in a way, bodybuilding kind of evolved from it, but not so much. But it brought it in. But because it's like, if you ever been to Florida, there's like snakes and lizards there that they're usually in other countries. But they have adapted to that, into that environment now.
Yeah.
And if you look at the girls who are bikini, some of them are bigger than the women's bodybuilding from back 40 years ago.
Yeah, truth. That's no lie for sure. Everything is getting bigger. That's just, and then they just keep filling in new divisions. I don't get it either, man. But
it's like it's always say, money talks and bullshit walks. That's how it is.
Yeah, and it's popular too. Like that fit model is popular at the amateur. I work a bunch of amateur shows in Texas with Gasp, and there's just as many of them girls in there as bikini and wellness now. So it's just it's gonna definitely bring in more. But
I think that's a big reason why also they're changing, bringing back the point system, changing the level where, because of some promoters would just have one division, like one bikini division, one men's class, one division. But, because there's such easy turnaround. And you think about it, this is a division that's going to be a lot easier to turn around. You can probably stack up, because I think bikini has the most shows, a good chance that fit model might surpass it in a couple of years.
I think so. And I just never understood why they didn't just go back to what bikini was supposed to be. Like, that's all it is. It's just old bikini now.
Well, it's like this. They already popped that cork on that bottle, and it's hard to go back. But then you have that set criteria. The judges have the control. Like I'm talking to women in figure telling, we want to be bigger and fuller. I mean, it's why you need to be bigger and fuller? Why does she bring in condition a little better? And sometimes again, some women who will be told, hey, you know what? You can't outgrow this division. You might need. Nah, I'm gonna stay here, but you're not placing well. Yeah. Like we have with Ashley. She did physique a couple of years, and then she went up to women's bodybuilding. Melissa Kite. Now she's been Olympia qualified twice before as a physique competitor, but now she's probably going to be in the top 5. Olympia for women's bodybuilding. Even Andrea was in physique for a minute. She made that switch. One of the interviewed who's been on my channel a couple of times is also a sponsor athlete by Bad Rap. That's Sherry Piani. And she was physique for a good while, and she went up. Now she's been a 2-time Olympian, even cracking the top 5 in her Olympia debut.
I remember that. She's a beast.
Yeah. Well, we're talking a good bit. I'm hoping she may maybe come back next year. She had to take some time off this year because of medical issues. I remember one year when she made a debut, she was so close with points. All she needs is the right show, but she told me that something happened and one of her children was sick, and so she had to take some time off. And that's the thing again, if you have a family. Because you have, like, how about your family? You have, like, what's your family like? You brothers and sisters, kids, anything like that?
Nope. Only child, no kids. We live in a bodybuilder. My word. We live in a house of bodybuilders. There's 4 of us. There's me and Gerald, which is women's physique and women's physique and men's bodybuilding. And then we got Missy, who's women's bodybuilding, and her boyfriend Danny, who's men's open. That's it. No kids in the house, just 4 bodybuilders.
Oh, well, if Missy ever want to come on and she wants to share a story, she'd be welcome guest. I'm often welcome to anybody who's starting this sport. I would love to have if
she's been doing it a while longer than me for sure. She definitely helps out with the women's bodybuilding side. She's a unit.
Yeah, that's great. Send me her link and check her out. I mean, I'm happy to have a guest. I would love to have Andrea here one day. I would love to. That'd be my dream. I you know what? This is. I know I'm a fool. I actually, when Ashley was at Tampa, I said to you, I said, Miss Ashley, seeing you here, sitting in the house, fitting the rock, and I saw you. I knew there was a God. I knew there was a God.
For real?
Yeah, I mean, I even saw Rachel Daniels. I got a Superman shirt, and she calls herself the real Lois Lane. I
Yeah.
was I was walking, to the booth, to the Bad Rap booth. I saw her say, "Hey, real Lois Lane." Said, "Yeah, Superman." We laughed and did a little pinky thing like that.
Yeah.
But one of my highlights, and I grew up in the '80s. I know my brother, but one of my highlights is meeting this gentleman right here, the one legendary David Lee Roth,
Back.
Diamond Dave. I would have never met this man, in my life if I didn't go to Tampa and hang with Eunice and them. I
Yeah.
mean, I grew up. I listened to not a lot of it, but you remember when Van Halen put out Jump,
Yes.
and they used to play it like early in the morning, especially on the urban market radio stations. And just I grew up like there was used to be a show come on because we didn't have cable in the country. We didn't have cable. There used to be a show called Friday Night Videos. Should come on like late Friday night, early Saturday morning, right after Letterman. And me and my brother and nephew would watch it. And then we watched guys like Van Halen and also Run DMC and Prince and very eclectic interests. But it's about the family thing. How about your parents? What they think about their little girl being a bodybuilder?
No, they didn't. They've opened up a little bit more to it now. My parents are very religious, so they almost kind of think of it like it's a cult.
Well, it can
And
be in a way.
I get it. I mean, but I tell them every time, I'm like, would you prefer the alternative of how I used to be, which was drinking until I couldn't stand? Like, that's kind of where I fight them on it, because they did not like that either. So it's like, okay, I'm not doing anything I'm not breaking the law or anything like that. So it's like, but no, I don't invite them to the shows just because I know my parents would support if I asked them to, but I just can't get over being in a very revealing swimsuit with my dad in the audience, and that's good. I'll show you pictures afterwards. But no, because I'm very comfortable on stage, so I like to put on a show. So it's like, yeah, no, I wouldn't be able. For knowing my dad's out there, I'd be like, just standing there.
Yeah, I think everybody, especially comes to your parents, especially as I grew up with me. I had three older sisters, my older brother, my younger brother. I grew up with my nieces and nephews, and I come from kind of big family. And I can tell you, when I conversation with ladies, the parent thing is like your dad. That's your first man in your life. He's the man
Yeah.
dad. He's every little girl's their father is their true love, and mom for us boys, a boy's best friend is his mother.
Yep.
And they want to see you see, but sometimes they like this. You got to think about it. The thing about bodybuilding because your dad is saying like, "Sweetheart, you're my little girl. If I wanted a boy, me and mama would have had a boy." But then,
Yeah.
and then your mother says, "Sweetheart, I don't want you to be so big and you look so dehydrated. And then
Yep.
I want you to have a man in your life. I don't
Yep.
want you to be, and but then it's good when they do support you.
Yeah,
I
because
don't.
they see that it makes me happy. So like I know that seeing that, they're like, okay, this is a good thing. Just because it brings the smile to my face, it gives me a passion in something. They're coming around to it, but they you know,
Well, like I said, it's about time. Give them time. I know one day
yeah.
dad be in the audience saying, "That's my little girl. That's my
Right.
baby." But then there'll be some guy that say, "That's your little girl."
She
Yeah,
ain't little.
yeah. She's not little. Neither am I when I look at her. But hey. Your dad and Jerry be beating the guy down. Say, "Hey, that's right.
Not like there's a fight breaking out in the back. What is going on back
It's
there?
hey, Rox. It's your dad and Gerald. They're whooping this guy's ass."
They would too. They'd team up. They'd be like, all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's the thing is, it's good that because I know I've talked to ladies where, again, their family don't understand it, they don't
Yeah.
support them. Also, I'm told two ladies told me one time they even got divorced from their husband because they got into sport after they had their kids and they was growing up. They
Yeah.
wanted something for themselves,
Yeah.
and sometimes I think the guys feel like you're distancing yourself from the marriage and relationship, but no, you're just changing the person. As men,
Yeah.
we want y'all women to stay the same. But you also as men to change. But that's the thing is, that's the hard thing. Men, we like things as they are. But then you have to realize that people have to evolve and grow.
Yeah. Now I feel that for sure.
Yeah. So, folks, we're not going to hold her much longer here, and we wish her the best of luck on her competitions. It's like again, folks, it's a tough sport. Not everybody's meant to be a bodybuilder. Like another Texan, the great Mr. Ronnie Coleman says, everybody wants to be a bodybuilder. No one wants to lift his heavy ass weight. And but if you understand what's involved in sport, the passion, the drive, not much sacrifice is said, but also the investments as an athlete. And these are there. Yes, it may be not the typical sport that you like to watch, but it's still a sport. And these are athletes. They do have to train, do have to diet. It's not as simple as most people think. If you're not consistent, disciplined, persistent, then it's not going to be easy for you. If you are someone who doesn't have that discipline where, okay, you get one morning and you don't feel like going to do fast cardio, then it's difference between motivation. It's the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation will change with the wind, but discipline is the thing that grounds you. Even though you feel like, I feel like my leg is about to fall off of me. I feel like my back hurting. I mean, I'm tired. I feel beat down, like Rocky Balboa said. But Rocky Balboa said like this: it doesn't matter, how much you think you can hit. It's how much you can take the hits and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning's done.
Yep.
Yeah. So also, other questions, guys out there. Yeah, she is sponsored by Bad Rap. Shout out to my girl Eunice, Bad Rap. But if you're interested in sponsoring her, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to help. So you have a plan, something that is a product that might work in her process. Reach out and generate interest. But guys, don't be that guy. Say, hey, Rox. I like the name, Rox. So if I do this favor for you, no, you sick freak. Don't do that. Don't put these ladies. Not like I said. I know some ladies that do certain things so they're making money because this job. This is not a really job. Not much to make a live off of. But it's up to that person. If you are someone who has a genuine plan like this, it's like, Miss George, we are interested in you, and we like your personality and your story about bodybuilding. We are a company who like to help promote, and we'll also be happy to work with your other sponsor, Bad Rap. So if you like our plan and you like our product, and something you can use, that you can genuinely use in your process of bodybuilder, we'd like to help you out. So let us know. Reach back with us, and then we see where we can go from there. So is that a plan, madam? Are you interested in it?
That works. Bring it on.
Yeah, I wish I can do something like that. I'm like I said, I grew up poor, but now I'm broke, so that's a big difference. So, this is something I will ask you. What would you want out of bodybuilder as a whole to your future?
As a whole, yeah, like small.
Everything.
Small goal is to turn pro. Big goal is to compete as a pro and then also gain knowledge and use that towards opening a gym in the future and coaching as a pro. Because I feel like it's just as lame as it sounds, whenever you have that pro title and that behind you, and then you go to open a business, that's something that we have has been in the works for a while for me. In-game goal, though. That's in the future when I'm done bodybuilding. So.
Because a while back, it's just posted how now with the pro cards, if you turn pro and you don't stay active with your pro
yeah,
feed,
3 years,
even if you're not competitive active, you have to make sure that you keep your activity, because that's the one part about it. That's the funny thing. You get this little card, you got to pay $275 a year, but what do you add other than that? You can use it for it's kind of like being an electrician or a plumber. Your license and bonded. But if anything, just like this. To shout out to the Mannion family, they're like the mob of the IFBB.
They are.
They run everything. Why not turn an investment to the athletes? I know not everybody's going to be Upsilon. Nobody will be Samson. Not everybody will be Nick. Not everybody going to be Andrea. Not everybody going to be Sarah. Sarah's rich anyway. Yeah. But these other athletes, hey, like I got a friend. He's IFB pro. He used to play in the league. He played NFL for a long time. He still gets a pension from the NFL. Why not invest that money that you take from these fees invest it back to athletes. Set up health insurance, something like that. Stuff like we just had recently a young lady who died. So
Yeah.
insurance and stuff like that. I mean, those things that really can help. Because if you have a job in a career, like I had a job, I had 401k, I had health insurance. I remember when I had my pacemaker, I was out for a while. I got short-term insurance. I got a few $1,000 to help pay my bills and my backup for the month. But those things do help y'all out but again, this is more of a hobby sport.
It is. That's where the caveat is on it. Is it's like, oh, this is like you said, a hobby. So it's like, do people? I mean, people get paid for other hobbies, so
Yeah, if you're looking up to get somebody like Eunice or like with Andrea, she's with Mutation and several athletes. Those usually are the top Olympia competitors. But everybody else who, as I call them, they have the boots in the ground, 10 toes down, who in the trenches. Those are the ones who have it harder because sometimes you have to pay. You have to pay Peter. You have to steal from Paul.
Yeah.
And then again, some lady and men will have to do certain things to make their change. Like this is a friend of mine told me the story about Jay Cutler, and it's he knows it because he's been in the game for a long time. Years ago, Jay used to do this. He would sell his used clothes.
Yep.
Yeah, his shirts and stuff. And one thing is there's a lot of guys who into men, but and one time he was so busy one day he forgot to get one of his shirts sweaty. So he sprint some water on it and he mailed it off to the guy. The guy would send it back, returned the sender with a note saying, does it smell like you? So that tells you there's, like I said again, there's those guys out there. But the thing is, if there was something where some of these competitors wouldn't have to do something like that, or as I call them, the Beat the Meat websites, that's what they are. If they had to do that, if there was a way where the NPCIB invests into athletes back into it, instead of y'all putting so much in but not getting as much back out.
Yeah, I agree. I wish there would. There's got to be ways out there, but I mean, they have a hard enough time sponsoring shows women's bodybuilding at a show.
Yeah, I wish I could do more, but like I said, I just got a small channel, and I like to say I'm a fan of y'all ladies. I do this because the fact is y'all do need a voice. There's only a handful of people that do this. Like
we love
David,
it.
Yeah, my man David, Female Body Forum. I got a man named KL. He runs his own. He's more of a fan of the women muscle than much as sport. There's the Female Body channel. There's also a guy named Claudio. He runs his hardcore Female Body channel. And and also I think this Monday is the Fem Flex. That's Linda Murray and a couple of other guests. They talk about women, because you go to the other ones, it's only going to be men's open and bikini.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the TNA division is always going to get the attention, but it's nice.
Oh yeah.
So, ma'am, before we let you go, we have anybody want to shout out?
Yes, Gerald, which we've already talked about multiple times, but he's the backbone of this prep, so we'll be here without him. And the family, everybody at Iron City Gym, Scott, all of the Team Texas Muscle people. I love you all.
And you can't forget most person, Bad Rep. Shout out to Eunice and Jolie. Folks, and so again, you want to go check it out. Here's the link here. This is the IG. You can go also buy a product for them. They also are helping to sponsor Tiana Flux. As you know, I had Tiana here a while back. We did a couple of interviews with her, and she knows she's now qualified for this year's Olympia, being your Master Olympia champion. First female bodybuilder out of South Africa. That is history. So, folks, you can go to my channel. You can find the link I have with Tiana. You want to send a donation to her. And also, if you want to reach out to Eunice about maybe helping her out also in her mission for Bad Rap, her and Jolene, you can go check them out. You can go to the link and reach out and have genuine interest and also support. And if you're a competitor who's genuinely interested, as I said again, she's looking for more athletes to sponsor, but you have to be social media active and you have to be on your game. You can't be half-stepping. Yep. We have a comment here. This is from my man Ryan Lakes. Thank you for sticking around, brother. Says, Rosanna, you are amazing female bodybuilder.
Thank you.
See, I tell you guys this, hey, Roxy, hey, like this. Well, I just say, George give a new girl every week. You say, like, yo, George, you got a new girl. She found a motherfucker. That's the excitement. They get excited. It's like the episode of when Charlotte Murphy meets Prince and he changes guy named Mickey Free. And you remember they thought Mickey Free was a chick and said, Charlotte got a new girl. She's bad enough for it. No, Mickey Free's a dude. But these guys, they're a fan of y'all ladies. They want to see y'all succeed. They want to be successful.
Oh, yeah.
They want to see, especially divisions like women's bodybuilding and women's physique. I was a big fan of women's physique at first. I was called it watered down women's bodybuilding, but many ladies have done interviews with another division, amazing ladies. But I'm always going to be a fan of women's bodybuilding. Even become a fan of other divisions like figure and ladies and fitness. I'm particularly interested in wellness because I had quite a few jobs when I was coming up, Roxy, and one of my jobs is I used to work in a gentleman's club.
Oh yeah.
And the hood was a booty club. But y'all ladies, I would say y'all work just as maybe different levels compared to men. Y'all work just as hard, you're just as committed, and you're just as passionate. Yep. And y'all make up the majority. Right now, when Fit Model come in, now you make up the majority of the IFB NPC.
Yeah. True that. We do. A lot of us out there.
Yeah. Well, folks, so again, I'd like to thank my man Ryan Lake coming through. Excuse me. I'd like to thank Roxy for her time. Shout out to Eunice Jolene of Bad Rap. And so again, you can follow the link in the description. And also, again, here is the IG. You want to go to them, you can go check out their merchandise. She's starting to get some men's stuff now, some shirts and hats like this one and some others. So guys, you want to support Bad Rap, you can go get those. Ladies, if you also want interested in Bad Rap material, and also if you're a competitor with genuine interest in maybe working with them in the future towards as a bodybuilding career, and you have to be social media active, be personable, and be serious about when you get into this. This is not a game, folks. It's not a game. Out. I'm sorry to do it. And also for you guys out there, I know you guys. I'm one of you. I'm a particular type of criminal too. I just love these beautiful ladies. But you have to be very kind, be nice, and to let Roxy know that she is beautiful. But don't be that weird guy. Don't be that weird. This is why I say like this. Guys, you get more with a silk glove than with an iron fist. And I know what you're doing with that iron fist. You get a lot of sexual innuendos. But folks, it's again interested in Roxy in her past. If you're someone who's interested in sponsoring any athlete, her particularly or anybody else, reach out in genuine interest. Don't be that weird guy. Be respectful.
Thank you.
To quote from my great hero, the man that one of my greatest heroes I'm a fan of is Batman from Batman Begins. He says, "You never have to." That's why I do this. That's why I like to hear your ladies' stories, etc. We have one more from my man Ryan Lake. He says, "You're welcome, Rosanna, and I think of the female bodybuilders are amazing." Woo! Thank you, brother. He's a fan.
Thank you.
So, folks, enjoy your upcoming weekend. It's Friday. Just got paid. Some of you are broke because you got paid bills the first of the month too. And just be respectful, understanding, and also support. Let's wish Roxy on the best of luck in her upcoming show. We hope we do get a pro card, and most definitely, we hope we do see her make her pro debut. If it's 2026, 2027, hell, 2028. Take that time, whichever time works for you. But we're here for you.
Thank you.
Again, you never have to. But anyway, but I do appreciate it. So, folks, I wish to shout out to my man Ryan Lake. Roxy coming through. Anybody watch? Shout out to Bad Rap. My girlfriend Eunice. She's my other girl, but Mr. Willie don't know. Don't tell nobody. And also shout out to Jolene. Shout out to her. And shout out to anybody who's interested in supporting these women in sport of bodybuilding and genuine interest in these altogether these athletes. Support them. Show love. Show respect. And be, not that weird guy. So, folks, it's your mail always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe, no subscribe. I'm out. God bless.
Bye.